Okay, so I'm working on some software for my employer. This involves some government agencies that we need to send secure communications through, and part of the instructions on setting this thing up, and one of the things that has to be renewed every few years is a digital ID. So, digital ID is uh, just a email ID s my certificate is what it is. So in the instructions, the I'm not going to mention the vendor or the software because this is not the point of the video, but the software specifies that they want you to use version 1.1.1 of Open SSL. Well, they refer you to this website, and there's no links to download version 1.1.1. In fact, um, they do give you links. I'm going to scroll down here. So all the downloads are 3.3.1 version 3. Anything 3.3.0.3.0.14 and up is what you can download off of this website. All versions of Open SSL. So the vendor on the instructions, and I've just got an excerpt right here, said either Win32 or 64 should be fine, but be sure to use version 1.1.1. They specifically asked for 1.1.1. Now, I don't know if it's because of how they coded the software behind the scenes. It does the communications, but they did state that version 3.0 presented an error when running the command to create the PEM file with the private key. So, that being said, and again, I'm not going to name the software vendor or anything like that, but um, you can go and you can get a copy of 1.1.1. So what you have to do is go to openssl.org, go to the downloads page, and there's a link for old releases. And you click over here on 1.1.1, you see that. So they've got all these different releases. The very last release, and what they started to do, the very end of the release version, they started putting letters of the alphabet. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, all the way up to version W was the last release of version 1.1.1, and it was released September 11th, 2023. So if you click that, you can download that. But what I did was I went to GitHub and I downloaded the GitHub version, which is stable, and it was the same release of this. You're probably good with this one, but I went straight to GitHub to get it. So if you go to the Git repository, Open SSL. Okay, so to find it on GitHub, right here's a master, which would be the latest release. But if you click on this, you can drop this down and you see all these branches. And right here, OpenSSL 1.1.1, well, 1_1_1 stable. I downloaded that version as a zip file, downloaded it, and dropped it on my local machine. Now, to compile this thing, I mean, you can. They've got instructions. Let's go back to here. They've got instructions, notes for like the Android, DJGPP, Perl, Unix, VMS, Windows. So if you want the quick and dirty, and you don't, because if you do the Windows compile, you have two options. You can install Perl and some other stuff, some Perl modules on your local machine. Um, and do it that way and run a Perl script, or you can just install Cygwin. Here I have the installer set up here. So what I did, the quick and dirty, and it's going to install everything you need for you anyway, right off the bat. And I did this on my local machine. I'm not going to put any of this on my production server or my development server, because you really, once I'm just creating the public and private keys. Is I really, all I want to do is install this tool to create a public and private key to be used by the software vendor. So go in here, and I told it to install from the internet. I give it a URL, and this is my own personal computer lab that I've been working around, playing around with this for. Um, and mainly because I'm not going to install Open SSL 1.1.1 on the production or the development box. All I really want is the public and private keys to complete my configuration for the application. So you can go in and tell it where you want to drop it. Tell it I'm going to use a direct connection. Just pick the download site of your choice. I mean, they're pretty much going to all have the same thing. But the one trick to get this to work right, and this is the reason I'm showing you this. So, view pending. So what I want to do is do full installation, because what happens if you don't do the full installation? Well, you can do one or two things. You could do like I did, and I use this box for multiple things, and I'm probably going to play around with some C++ command line programs and stuff. Bash shell scripting, like we have some Linux servers. If I need to write a bash shell for like a Red Hat server, I could play around with it in this Cygwin environment. So I do a full install, and if you really wanted to, you could look up Perl, and you can cherry pick all the Perl packages. And the thing about this is knowing what Perl. There's a pretty good long list of packages. So for all this Perl crypto stuff will probably be needed, but instead of trying to cherry pick everything, I just installed the whole environment just for a complete environment, Cygwin environment. You do whatever you want think is best if you're doing this same thing, but this is how I got it to work for me. So I just cleared that out, and I just told it I want a full install. I let it pick the best. As you can see right here, I've got best selected, and I just let it run. Now I've already installed this on my box, so then I've already run it, and I've created the package. But I'm going to run this thing again just for video purposes. So I'm going to cancel out of this. Yes, I want to board it. So the first thing you'd want to do when you open up your Cygwin terminal is run, and you can see I've just run the compile um, myself on this thing, and let's close this up. So yeah, I'm in the right thing. So there's a commit. Check with her later. So there's a configuration. I lost my train of thought. I got distracted. So this configure. So you can type dot forward slash configure, and it'll configure the environment and prepare it to set up. And then there's this install script. So as you saw right here, so if you type in make install, this thing will take off and it'll start compiling everything it needs to run Open SSL. We'll let this run for a minute. It's doing a lot. This does a whole lot, and there's a lot you could do with this package. But the purpose for compiling this, the reason I wanted to do this is I want to be able to generate the public and private key I need for the application that I support, and I want to keep within the specs of the application. And the issue was that you cannot no longer download the executable for OpenSSL 1.1.1. So I'm creating the executable. I created my own little development environment, and I'm creating the executable, and I'll be able to move on with my instructions and create a public and private key for the vendor. So the reason I want to be able to do this, I still have the software on another box. But the thing is, if we when we move forward, I just wanted to make sure I could still recreate all this because the box that I'm using, it could get upgraded to a new version of Windows, and if it's actually on a VM that I play around on, and if we renew that, we're just going to create a new VM, and I want a fresh install on the new operating system that I'm going to use this on. I want to be able to do a fresh install. So here, as you can see, the compile is finished. So you can test it by typing Open SSL version. And as you can see, I have my Open SSL 1.1.1 development set up, ready to go. So now from this point, all I have to do is run the Open SSL commands, create my public and private key from a digital um, SMIME certificate, and I'm good to go. I just take my public and private keys, finish my configuration, and the application should work. So I just wanted to do a quick and dirty because I know there's other people that's using this software, and the instructions the instructions for creating the digital ID is tells you to go download the executable for 1.1.1. So if there's people out there and they've not kept their old environment set up to create the public and private keys, and they need to set it up again, Well, this is one way to get yourself set back up if you need to create a new environment to do that. It could be just somebody. My other thought is if it's somebody that just started using the software, they're just now getting set up. They just purchased the software and they're going to use it, and they're like, "Wow, I can't download Open SSL 1.1.1 executable. I can't install it. So how do I create the public and private keys to finish my configuration for the software to communicate between servers?" Well, this is a way to do it. You can get this done. You can get it done this way. This is a quick and dirty way to do it, and you'll be up and running. And I wouldn't suggest that you put this on the server that you're going to be running the software on. This is I would do it on the laptop or your work desktop or whatever. And like I said, we replace these kind of things from time to time. They're looking at going to virtual desktops because we're going to the cloud with everything. So Microsoft has several packages or several ways that you can have virtual desktops, and everybody can use their own um, a laptop, just a generic laptop without any software installed, and they'll just connect to a remote desktop in the cloud and do their work there, and it's going to have all the tools that they need to do their job. So this world's changing. Everybody's working remotely. Our location is looking at moving everything to the cloud and doing things remotely and running everything from the cloud. So um, if I have to go and we have to create a virtual desktop out there to do the encryption, public private key part for this software, provided we stay on this software package, then we can do it. I can recreate the environment out in the cloud, connect to that virtual desktop, and I'm good to go. And that's the main reason I created this video, is just to test and verify I can still get there to that point, and we're good to go and continue using this software. But hopefully this helps somebody else that's needing to be on this version of this software, and this will pretty much work for all the versions of Open SSL, I would imagine. I would just either cherry pick all the Perl packages that's listed for Cygwin, or just do like I did and just install full, because I'm wanting to play around with uh, different things in this environment anyway. I do bash scripting, a little bit of C++. You can do just C code, straight C code if you want to do that, and some other things. So plus, you have access, like if you want to simulate a Linux environment for in Cygwin, Cygwin will allow you to simulate, like if you're on Red Hat and you want to play around with some bash scripts before you move the scripts over to the Red Hat server, you can simulate your environment here on Cygwin and be done. Test your scripts, get it over there on the Red Hat server, and you're done. I mean, the other option is you can just set up a Red Hat server, development server, and play around on that. But this is my local box, and if I don't have to really connect to work, I just connect to my local lab here in the house, and I'm good to go. But anyway, this is a quick and dirty. If you need to get on, you're trying to get a old Open SSL version, and you're wanting to create public and private keys or what have you, or use it for different things, then this is a quick and dirty way of getting things up and running. All right. Well, I appreciate you watching the video, and appreciate everybody's support. Hope this has helped you. If it does help you, leave a comment down in the below the video and let me know. I plan on creating some future videos using some Cygwin and some other stuff that I'm playing around with and that I use. Sometimes I use in my job. Sometimes I just want to play around and say, can I do that? But anyway, thanks for watching, and hopefully we'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye.